All right, today we got the Nintendo GameCube and Nintendo Wii. So this video basically about a buying guide for both the GameCube and the Wii, especially what's the best one to buy if you don't have a GameCube or Wii to start with. So I'll start with the GameCube first. So yeah, this is the one that you really want because the Wii obviously play GameCube games. We'll get to that in a minute, but obviously the GameCube. Obviously this is going to be old. These are 2 decades old. There's 2 variations of GameCube you really need to worry about. So let's be real. You know the GameCube got good reliability and durability. If you find one working in perfect conditions, a bit slim, so you have to pay a few dollars more. So like I said, this particular GameCube, this is the original model of the GameCube with direct, with the AV and this digital. What does it say? God damn, I can't even really see it. So basically, this is basically for the GameCube component cables, which I'll get to that in a minute. We'll talk about that later. So yeah, let's be for real. I don't know how much, if you go on eBay, but how much a GameCube costs, all his control port, the controllers, and any necessary hookup parts. If you buy one, or any game system for that matter on eBay, make sure you buy one for reputable make sure you buy one that someone will tell you that the thing works. Tell them before you buy it, has it been tested? Does it work? Has it not been tested? Buy one at your own risk. If they don't mention it and y'all still listening, make sure ask ahead of time. Does it come with a power supply? Because it will not work without this. See, this is the back of your GameCube right here. Obviously, this is the United States model. Yeah, they make sure if you don't want to buy a Wii, GameCube, or Wii, it doesn't work because you don't have the power supply. And like I said before in my last video, these, at least the Nintendo brand, not the third-party ones, these are hard to find. One, not really hard to find. They'll be cost like $25 for these. Remember, because these are a Nintendo brand, obviously. So these are hard to find. Just let you know that right now. Here are the GameCube AV cables. These are generic brand. These will work on the Nintendo 64 and the Super Nintendo. Obviously, these are the regular RCA cables. These are you use these for standard quality. Of course, if you don't have, because most TVs don't have the AV component cables back there. I'll show that off in a minute for the Wii. By the way, let me say this in advance. When you do buy your GameCube or Wii or any game system, I will not recommend put your console in around the clock. Leave it overnight because obviously these are 20 plus year game consoles. So yeah, I'll keep this over here for a while. So yeah, this is the Nintendo Wii, obviously. And this is the one I normally recommend for you want to play Nintendo Wii games because it plays not only GameCube games and obviously plays Wii games. I said that backward. It plays Wii games and GameCube games. So you can play games like all the classic games like Double Dash, Sunshine, all those GameCube games on the Wii. And it looks a little bit better with components, which I'll talk about that in a minute. So yeah. You can find these around really cheap, like $40 to $50, $60 on eBay. These will be younger from 06. At least the first model of the Wii. I'm not like I just bought this one from my first Wii. This is not the first Wii. My first Wii I got from 2011. It lasted like around 2017. Like it lasted me almost a decade and a half. Yeah, maximum was 15 to 12 years. So let's be real. The GameCube and the Wii, especially the Wii, usually hold up minus the disc drive. That's the major flaw with it. Like some of the really old models will break down being dropped or heavy use or whatever. Wii is a great choice. But however, there's some things you need to know about this. like I said, you'll find a way normally cheap, but most importantly, the power supply is different for the GameCube. So don't think if you find one cheap without a power supply, you can outsmart it and use a GameCube's power supply because it won't work. That's the Wii power supply. If you focus, here, where's the GameCube one? If you can tell, they're not the same. So yeah, these are a little bit easier. So yeah, you don't want to buy. So yeah, and these are easy to find somehow in the Wii. I mean the GameCube original power supply. Yeah, here's the back of the Wii. AV, obviously the sensor bar. Make sure you have. I feel so Nintendo. If you buy old consoles, I will say this: make sure you buy everything original. Don't get no third-party stuff. It's not gonna last long. So yeah, and here's your AC adapter. It goes right here. Now let's get to this. Now you pick up your Wii or the game or your old GameCube. Right. Now what? First of all, let me explain this right now. A PlayStation 2 controller will not work on this. Obviously the GameCube controller works. Obviously, you can hook it up right here. There with your Wii. It just will stay on here. They're the memory cards, by the way. I'm not gonna go over that because you saw them in the last video. There we go. We'll be right back. Let me do this real quick. Move this. There it is. Obviously the Wii's on, you know, it's not hooked up to a TV right now. Obviously the driver's in, boom. Anyway, go to one. Now anyway, now you got your set up with your GameCube and Wii. How you hook up to a modern television set? Because like I said, most TVs only have HDMI, so there's only for those AV cables. I'll show it off the GameCube one. I'm not gonna show it off again. The Wii, because obviously if you have a Wii, you want to play your GameCube games on your Wii, you can use three things. You use these old AV cables. Sorry, these are old. What do you expect? These are about decades old, so they're dirty. Sorry about that. Or use use these knockoff. You buy these these component cables like $13 to $50, $14 to $15. And when you go on your Wii, make sure go on the menu, go to settings and make sure go to screen resolution. Turn your Wii on the 480p. So just be sure about that. Make sure it does work on GameCube, and that the screen bird will not work on GameCube, by the way. So don't do it. It will not work. Yeah, nor the Xbox One in the background. So anyway, let's not worry about that. Or you be cheap. This will work on the GameCube and Wii. Well, this will work on the Wii, obviously. If you want to play your GameCube games or your Wii games, buy this. You can find this around like under $10. That's what I got. This is what I use for my Let's Play, for my GameCube Let's Plays and my Mario Kart Wii stuff. All my other Wii games, for that matter, is this. When I Let's Play into my laptop, it's easier to do. And these both do the exact same thing. I use them both. I prefer this one because it's easier, cheaper. It's easier to use. But if you have one of these, this will do the job as well. I don't know what the video quality is. I think this was a little bit better than the regular component because remember these are knockoffs. But these were not that bad as well. All right. Right now you got the Wii stuff and everything. Now if you don't have let's be real. Any game system is worth nothing without its games. So if you don't have any games for your GameCube or Wii, well, the best way you choose is I recommend eBay because you get the easy to find games. Like you can pick up this game, like a couple $20, like Raffle Quartets, the movie game, National Card you just saw. And this game, you can find these games under like a game lock, like $20. But if you want like more obscure games like Double Dash or Sonic Riders, you have to individually hunt them down. Because these will cost you like 30 to 60 bucks, especially Double Dash, especially these first party Nintendo titles. This will cost you like the 50 to 80 bucks, depending on the edition. But these Sonic games, you have to hunt them down individually. So yeah, hold up, be right back. Because like I said, the week plays GameCube games. Let me do this real quick. Because they will work, obviously, do this. GameCube game, Mario Kart Double Dash. Small disc. Put in this tray. Voila. A GameCube without being a GameCube. Like I said, this is the best thing Nintendo did. Make the Wii backwards compatible. Because it doubles those games that you can play on this thing, not counting the Wii Virtual Console, because that doesn't work anymore, even unless you find a way to mod it. But hey, if you're done playing your GameCube game, hit the eject button. Use the light to make sure when you put a disc in, when you take out this, put a disc in. Take out Mario Kart Double Dash. Then you put in Mario Kart Wii. As you can notice, the Wii discs are the same size as standard DVD disc and Blu-ray disc. You see it on the 360 in the PS3. Yeah, I know that's kind of pointless, but I did it just to make the video more interesting. So yeah, this is it for this video. This is a buying guide. Well, it's not, like I said, it's not the best buying guide, but hey, I make it more interesting doing this. Anyway, hope you enjoyed those videos. See you guys later.